Start this.
Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day.
That's overrated.
It's Tuesday. Tuesday.
But you know what? At least we're alive. And even when shit gets tough, we stick around.
This is true. This is true.
Sounds like a case of hemorrhoids.
Commercial for hemorrhoids. Oh, gosh. Here we go.
I didn't say that.
I said it. That's what it sounds like. You got a case of the Tuesdays?
Damn it. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I didn't want to do that much work this morning. You still can't get it?
I got in there enough to ship my packages this morning, and that's it. I can't get into eBay.
I can't even get into my seller hub.
Yeah,
I can get into eBay itself. I can look around eBay. I can search in eBay, but I can't get to my seller hub.
Yeah, I can't.
So
Me
the
neither.
back servers were down.
Yeah.
Mine just did the circle, 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 and then it says it timed out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine works fine. Mine works fine because my door's blue.
I painted mine purple. I said, screw it. I ain't going to wait for them.
As my son says, I'm having Lodi issues. And we hate Lodi.
Oh. Man, we had storms all night last night. Believe it or not, I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night.
Liar.
Liar.
Wait,
No,
can fall
I
asleep at
did.
10 o'clock.
Because I was exhausted. And
Late nights in
then
a row, that's the problem.
yeah, went to bed at 10, woke up at 12, stayed up till 2, went back to bed, woke up at 5. Take what I can get, I guess.
Jason kept me up last night.
Oh my.
Jason has a history of doing that.
Yeah.
What was,
That's
he
okay.
doing?
Storage units.
What was he doing? Shopping for shelves again, or putting up shelves, or?
No, I mean, he actually, because I was kind of questioning and he'll probably be on here in a few minutes. He said he was going to be on the morning show. Trying to understand how he was laying out his new space, because I mean, he's gone through several iterations of how he wants to lay it out, and he's decided to dump the tables and just use shelving and totes. So,
Is he still analyzing? I mean, he's very analytical and very organized, but is he still trying to figure out how he wants to do all that?
no, he decided how he's going to do it. It's just and it's just a little different. I got a message from eBay. We ran into a problem, but we're working on it. Please call later. Okay.
At least you got a message.
On my screen when I'm trying to load my seller hub. And I understand where he's going with it. I'm not that type of jump in and just get a new space and then organize it completely before I put anything in there. But I mean, his thought process was basically just to get it done, get it organized, so that when he does bring product in there, it's a system already set up, which is probably the right way to do it. I'm just more of a jump in with 2 feet and then.
It is, but I would have, like you, I would have been more like, okay, basic design. I know I want shelving on these walls, and I want some tables, and all that stuff's lightweight, and I can move it later. Well, he was doing metal shelving, though, I guess, so he had to be a little more precise.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to buy a bunch of tables and put them down the center, and he's like, you know what? The more I look at the space after I put shelving, it's going to be too tight in the center, and so I'm like, okay. I mean, yeah, and
to run a row of tables.
Yeah, well, if you put shelving on both sides, it's not that it's too tight. It's just that one side is going to only have like 2 feet of space.
How wide is that building?
I don't know. I think he may have misinterpreted how wide it really was.
I mean, because this room is 12 or 14. and I've got shelving. If I ran a row of table, I mean, it'd be tight. It depends on whether or not he wants to get a pallet jack in there or still be able, does he plan on pulling pallets down through there, or does he want to be able to get a hand truck?
The door's only 36 inches wide, so that's the width of his hallway, basically down one, like it'd be down one row.
Right.
Then the table, and then the next row to get to access to the other wall of shelves only leaves him about 2 feet, and he's like, that's just a little too tight. But I can understand that. So.
All right, enough about Jason. He didn't even have the courtesy to show up this morning. Don't give him any more attention than that. You'll give him a big head.
But you know what? That's good that he's continuing thinking about it. And, instead of doing it one way and then not liking it, and then have to change it. I mean, that's
he's a total, and I mean this in a loving, good sort of way, because I do kind of do the same. He's a total nerd when it comes to like getting in there. And
yeah,
I mean, he had his little spreadsheet that he had downloaded from Haverty's Furniture. That's one of the room, how to set up your room before you buy. I mean, he had it all gridded out and all that, and I think that's smart.
Well, I mean, it's smart when you're talking about making an investment in shelving. Yeah, and I'm the kind of guy, I'm going to go to Ollie's and I'm going to pick up the $30 shelving, and Jason's buying heavy duty shelving that he's paying a good amount for, because he's buying something that's going to last him until he retires. I mean, that's kind of what he was talking about. It's like, I want to, when I set something up, I want to set it up and not have to think about it until, for 20 years. And I'm like, yeah. There's a higher investment cost, but I think if we all spent that much time analyzing it and investing properly, we wouldn't be redoing and redoing and redoing. We'd save time down the road. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm printing labels just fine. Once you get into your Seller Hub, don't leave. Once you get in the tab that says awaiting shipment, don't leave. It'll keep you back to it. Maybe it's just me.
As long as they get it up before, I'll be fine.
I have these, I don't know. There's that, I have this tendency to like lay in bed at night and come up with all these grandiose ideas, and then they don't sound like as good an idea the next day. Does anybody, I mean, do I have like sundowners disease or something? I mean, is that like some kind of weird part of getting old? Like, seriously, I'd like lay 3 nights in a row. I'm like, I'm going to get to the warehouse. I'm going to open all the doors. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning and turn on some fans. And the weather's nice outside. I'm going to do this and that and the other. And then I wake up this morning, I'm like, no, I really don't want to do that. What the hell was I thinking?
No, about that yesterday afternoon. Go down to the warehouse. I really get down there and just start making some decisions and cleaning it out and getting it right. And
No, and I know where I would start if I went down there. There's a bunch of stuff that just needs to go to the local thrift store. Boxes of books that I recalled from Amazon, CD. I mean, I'm going to lot up some of the stuff that, like, okay, let's admit it, I'm never going to have a yard sale. There's a really good cause right down the road that's a true nonprofit that doesn't pay any of their executives. They only pay like women abuse. It's like an abused women kind of thing. Women they're trying to help, that kind of thing. Like, I know the lady that runs the nonprofit, and I know for a fact that 100% of the money goes to solely people in the program or the program itself, and they give food to the community and all that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna have a yard sale. Yeah. I'm gonna literally just give it all the crap there, and then clear out a corner and start from there. And I need to list that heater and the dental chair and the Hartman trunk and the antique time clock that I've forgotten about.
Oh, hell, I thought you sold that already.
Do you know, I haven't even touched it.
That's like $400.
There's a big set of Jensen speakers that are sitting there that I can't really find anything on the model number, but if nothing else, I'll drag them outside and take them apart and sell the subs and tweeters and crap, sell everything separately. The stuff something needs to happen. Now, I think what I'm going to do with the time clock is I'm going to find a corner here where it would look really nice for the time being. Bring it home, clean it up on the porch, and it'd be like the Victrola; it would never leave.
That's a cool piece. I mean, that's just a neat piece. I've never seen one before, and I like that.
I can't imagine having to ship it though.
Oof.
I think if I did it, it would definitely be one of those local pickup only.
Well, I think it'd also be one of those ones where you're gonna. I would pack and ship it. Let them pack and ship it, so they'll take the responsibility for it if something happens.
For those of you that are unfamiliar with it, it's an antique time recording clock, and it's about 4 feet high, solid, probably oak antique cabinet, big glass front, a base that's about, I don't know, 16 by 16, 18 by 18 maybe, and then it gets narrower, so it's almost like a little mini grandfather clock in a weird sort of way. Like, but all the weight is in the back, like it's something you wouldn't want to ship. And it's really cool.
Tristan's in the trap trying to get rid of your dentist chair.
Just set that thing up. I'm gonna go down there and set that thing up and take pictures of it and actually sell it, and then the joke's gonna be on everybody else.
Oh, you'll do fine with that. It's just a matter of getting the back set up. Probably have to put some hydraulic oil in it to make sure you can demonstrate it works, and then local pickup. You ship it, whatever.
What the hell? What in the hell?
Yeah, I won. Today I go and pick up all my winnings from my auction and online auction that I did Sunday, and I get to go pick up all that stuff.
Good.
What time is that at?
What's that?
What time you gotta do that at?
It's between 10 and 6.
Oh, that's a nice little long window.
So I get to, I've never been this way before, so it'll be interesting. I'm a little nervous, but I'll be fine. It's not like I'm gonna be,
For finding the place, you mean, or just?
No, just driving in an unknown place.
Uh-huh.
I always have like a little anxiety about that, but I'll be fine.
That's what the GPS is for.
Yeah.
But you're gonna do really well with that stuff. So.
That's what I'm hoping. Bring it home and do a show on it. Show everybody all my goodies. That'll be fun. So who's seen the eclipse yesterday?
I did.
Good.
So I get off the show or whatever, and Tristan's like, my dad's coming up. And I was like, okay, cool. What's he coming up for? Oh, this and that and blah, 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 whatever. And he wants to be closer to the eclipse, which is kind of BS because he only lives 100 miles south of here. So we got like 98% blackout, and he probably would have like 96. But some days he just wants to see us. That's cool. Totally get it. I'm like, yeah, cool. So he gets up, plops down the couch. Tristan starts getting ready. I'm like, let's go to one of the churches right up the street. They have big open parking lots with no trees. The sun at that point is like, our peak was at 129, so the sun's directly overhead. We get up there, and there's not a soul in the back parking lot of the church except for this one lady with her 2 kids and a picnic blanket spread out in the grass and her digital camera with her like overachiever mom. I mean, she's really nice, don't get me wrong. But like all the organic, because I walked over there, like all the organic snacks and the digital camera with the zoom lens this long on the tripod. And God love her. She goes, hey, do y'all not have glasses? And I said, no, we didn't prepare very good. She goes, well, we got an extra pair. Here you go. All I have to say is freaking amazing through those glasses. Next 20 years, whenever it happens, I'm going to get me some glasses.
Did you see the diamond ring?
The diamond ring.
That's what they call it.
No.
See, I went on the NASA website and I watched it in all the locations where NASA was planted at, because they were planted like 6 or 7 locations across the U.S. Watching. And the diamond ring is when it closes all the way over the moon closes all the way over the sun, and then you get that ring around.
Right.
The diamond ring is actually whenever it almost completely closes, but right at the end of the close, it will show almost like a diamond stone on the edge.
Like what Eric's showing.
Craters in the moon.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's
about,
not the diamond ring. That's
no, it'll be there. If you want to talk about overachievers, my brother and my dad
yeah.
went out, and this I'll just show you some of the photos. That's my brother and my dad.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool
Okay,
telescope there.
That's my dad. That's my brother's telescope.
Gosh.
We don't know what overachieving's about, so yeah.
See, and
That's
that's cool as crap. See, we only had 97 or 98%, so we never lost that one little sliver. So we didn't get I think the diamond ring effect would probably be for the 100% blackout or whatever they call it area.
And then you know how they had the 360 sunset they talk about?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was flying his drone up in that to get pictures of it. So
Oh, wow.
Really cool, but
it was like Dawn of the Dead eerie though, like the birds, like you know what I knew that was the birds quit chirping and like the crickets chirp, and it's that weird orange glow, almost like that weird when the sky's really orange after a rain or that weird weather. I don't know how to explain, like Dawn of the Dead kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And even driving home, and then we get home and we open the door to the house, and Mahoney's probably barking because she's freaking out, thinking the aliens are coming to get her or whatever, take her back to the mothership. And it's like dark in like we're having to turn on lights in the house. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually think I missed it completely. I think I woke up right whenever it was getting, that it was the sun was coming out or whatever.
Right.
Whenever I went outside, it was dark, and then started getting lighter, but the clouds were moving.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I'll actually see something. So I kept on Facebook Live because I didn't want to miss anything. And then all of a sudden the temperature got like 20 degrees warmer out there, like in an instant.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know that it's over now.
Yeah, it was definitely, that's the other thing. It was definitely cooler because I'm like, wow, I'm standing outside in the sun, so to speak, if you could call it the sun. And it's like, it feels really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what kills me? There's road construction, or they're putting in a new subdivision next door to this church. And all the bulldozer people are just keep on going like nothing's happening. I'm like, what the hell? Like their machinery never stops.
Yeah, I went out and I was doing the old phone over the shoulder trick to see, because I didn't have any glasses either, and camera wasn't picking anything up. You know what? I've got like 3 welding helmets. I never even thought about grabbing it, but I could see it, kind of, especially when the clouds came in. But right when it was supposed to be the best, boom, cloud cover, and I couldn't see a damn thing.
Yep.
So
yeah,
we got.
I mean, I didn't
big.
feel like it got very dark here. Now I was in like the 85% range, and I was watching Val's live feed, and I mean, it got dark there, and I didn't see any of that here.
Yeah.
It was.
We were dark like that too.
Yeah. It was
maybe not as dark.
It was pretty dark. It was very eerie, like I don't know, just a weird feeling. And the whole
But when
night
I went
before
outside,
and the daytime, the dogs were just like completely nuts. So I don't know. I guess they feel something,
because they know when the zombies are about to attack.
7 years from now,
whenever I went outside originally, though, crickets were chirping, and the birds were kind of like were thinking that it was like, morning or something. They were definitely confused.
Huh.
It was pretty crazy.
It was interesting.
See, I mean, literally, what's interesting about the glasses, and I don't know what they're made out of, somebody could probably Google it, but I feel like it's probably just a 99% blackout. It's like looking through a piece of, oh, not cellophane, but like a film. It's like looking through kind of the same film that your film and your camera is made out of, about that same thickness, a little thinner. And I think all it really does is probably blocks out 90-something% of the light so that you can just see that sliver. I'm like, how freaking easy would it be to make your own if you just had some of that film?
Yeah.
Or you can buy like the welding helmet replacement pieces.
That's all you, in theory, all you really need. You can tape that in the end of a box and just stick your head in the box. No, but it was really cool, and I gave the lady the glasses back. I was like, because I'm like, I know you want to put these in the closet and save them for 2024. And I thanked her and all that. It was really cool. And she goes, good, I'm glad. How was y'all's experience? I was like, she was really nice. That was really cool of her. Because I think it would have sucked without them. Or not been near as good anyhow. All right.
Yeah, so that was, it was interesting.
Oh, shit. Don't hit back.
Oh, what?
If I stay in the manage orders awaiting shipment page, I can ship labels. But if I go back to the overview, that's where the problems start.
Yeah. I just stopped worrying about it. I'm not going to.
I just need to ship. I don't care. I have to go to the doctor today.
What's the hey Dusty, what's the URL for the managed orders shipping?
Copy.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get in there.
If you go this might actually work.
I can bypass the
I'll try using, I'll put it in the side chat. Y'all try using that link and just bypass it's ebay.com/something filter status awaiting shipment.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. It got me into manage all the orders and the waiting shipment. Yeah.
Okay, so you should be able to at least print from there.
Yep.
Dusty saved the day.
Eric saved the day with the idea.
Eric saves the day with the idea.
Wow. Fishing and Pickin says, Lil, my wife is booked with 44 patients today from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. She is an optometrist.
She is no.
Thank you, Sun and Moon.
Optometrist.
Oh, a patometrist.
Oh,
Okay.
well, she's an optometrist.
I think it was
Well, that's what I thought.
Hey, Valerie, why don't that link that Dusty just pasted? Can you put that in the show chat over here?
I put it in there.
Oh, did you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you put it in there. Yeah, it works for me to get in there. So if anybody's having trouble, hit that link. It should take you into your managed orders.
No, I'm not.
I just clicked on sell.
Sell was the only way I can get, if I go, here's the deal. Here's, for some reason, when I switched over to the seller hub a long time ago, if I go to and just click my eBay, it takes me to a page that says summary, where it shows my watch list, the things I'm buying, whatever. So to get to the seller, and I've just had to do it this way for 6 months, to get to the seller hub, I have to go to my eBay and then go down to selling.
Oh, see, I click on my eBay and it takes me right to the seller hub.
Now, if I click on it, and I've asked them about it before, and they're like, I don't know. It's done that ever since I switched to the seller.
I have always went down to selling. I always click on my eBay and then went to selling, and that's what I've always done.
But see, if I click on my eBay and it takes me to that page that says my eBay summary, over on the left it has buying reminders, summary, recently viewed, purchase history, searches you follow, sellers you follow. It doesn't have any selling over there. So I literally have to go up to my eBay in the right corner and hover over it, and then go down the hover list to the word selling. Just some random glitch that they'll never actually admit they have. Oh my Lord. So she's an optometrist and people are all complaining about
eye problems.
I actually looked at it a couple of times.
I mean, it's not any different than walking out and, I mean, if you stared, if you were dumb enough to stand out there and stare,
Yeah,
although I can't call people stupid because Beth, I'll get in trouble with Beth again today. So if you were dumb enough to walk out there and stare at the sun for that long without anything, I mean, no kid.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a little bit of, you know that there is a chance that, you could have problems.
Now, I did do the little thing where you put your fingers like this and create a little bitty hole in between. And if you do that just right, while everybody else was using the light, if you do that just right, you could see because it blocks out the rays around the sun, and you could see the silhouette of the moon.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I read that on Pinterest.
Good job.
Frankie's Finds said all lists. All lists. Now,
All
see,
lists.
if I click on all lists on the left, it brings up all items in your list. It brings up stuff I've bought or watched.
Yeah. That doesn't work for me. But like I said, I got up this morning and I think it was about 5:30 when I started shipping. So it wasn't too bad. It worked fine.
Yeah, I can back into that way, but it puts me back into the old seller system.
I did have a nice little talk with eBay yesterday. I had to call 4 times. I'm a little disappointed with the backup hold time for anchor support. First time I gave up after about 12, 15 minutes of holding. Second time I happened to drive down the mountain, went through a dead spot, my phone disconnected. Third time I just gave up because we had to walk into a meeting with our kids' homeschool chick. And so I just had to hang up. Fourth time, I get the guy on the phone, and wouldn't you know it, I'm coming back up the mountain through the dead spot. And I'm like, first and foremost, before I verify anything, can you please tell me if I hit this dead spot and lose you, will you call me back? He's like, yeah, I have such and such number. And I said, okay, cool. And then I went from there, and I got him on the phone, and I did ask him about the glitch that we've had recently, because on the 18th, I got charged a lot of insertion fees. There was a glitch for a few days where even if you have a store or have enough free listings and you were using the bulk relister, you were getting charged. It was also on some of them, like, you can only bulk relist 200 at a time. It was saying your fees will be $15.60 or whatever, $16. And then by the time you went to the next page where it finalized it, then it would say 0. So sometimes they weren't actually taking, but I did go back and look, and he said it was an ongoing issue that he had submitted about half a dozen tickets already that day. He was going to add me to that he checked his notes and they had not given him any resolution, but that they would follow up with me and credit me back, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I found that eBay's pretty good about crediting things when they've made a mistake or when something's jumped out on it. I've called a couple times about my invoice. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And they're like, oh yeah, we credited you down here. And I'm like, okay.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, now I can't. If I leave that, I can't get back into my.
Yeah, but I went to the all list and it actually got me into the old system. That's all right. As long as I can get to my shipping page, that's all I needed.
So yeah, that link I put in the side will get you in, because I tried it again. It got me straight in. It appears to be an issue with when you go to the main page, the overview page. That's where the problem is. And you try to go there.
Yeah, we're crazy in the chat. Beth and Tristan and Hank.
$50 coupon for what? Just to buy something?
What?
I wouldn't know if I got a $50 coupon because I can't get into eBay.
Todd says he got a $50 coupon. What he's gonna buy?
How you get a $50 coupon?
Oh, right. Well.
Well, that's got to be it. Silver hair.
Yeah, probably.
My seller home just came up.
Woohoo!
You're funny, Todd.
Something else changed views and looked different yesterday. I think they're just tinkering with code and views and servers and crap, and have been for a couple of weeks to make our experience better.
Yup.
To improve your overall experience. Whatever. That ain't gonna fit. Oh, God.
Oh. Let's see. I forgot to invite Nikki.
Oh, Valerie.
I know. I'm such a bad person.
No, you're not.
Maybe she didn't need to get her crap fixed.
Instead of buying that big old giant, maybe she should have bought a computer.
Well, she knows what time the show starts.
I put it out there. I sent you an invite, so just so you know.
Did you realize that Tristan's planning your move to Cocoa Beach, Florida? Did you know that you're moving to Cocoa Beach, Florida?
I'm ready. Well, I'm not ready, but I have no problems with that. Out of all the parts of Florida, I love Cocoa Beach. It's not touristy. I mean, you got a little touristy up near Cape Canaveral with cruise ships, but most of those people don't ever venture far enough down to really go to Cocoa Beach or anything.
Yeah.
And it's not like Daytona. You don't have freaking bike week. You know?
Yeah.
I like it. And it's actually fairly affordable as far as Florida housing goes.
I'd rather live on the Gulf Coast myself. But
Gulf Coast is just too freaking touristy. I mean, I like the waters of the Gulf, but I mean, there's really not anything left of Panhandle that's not, unless you get way on down.
I'd be more of a Tampa person.
West of like Destin, like Navarre and all that kind of, and I just like that area.
I'd be more, Fort Myers Beach, Tampa area. I know it's touristy and stuff like that, but
Yeah, that part of the Gulf, yeah.
That's right. If I was going to move to Florida, that's where I'd go.
But I don't want to be in a big town. My thing is, I don't want to be in a big town. Tampa's great. Tampa's huge,
No, I wouldn't live on the coast. I would probably live interior. I would probably go in, 40, 50 miles from the coast. I don't need to be on a beach.
See, that's my problem. If I'm going to move to Florida, I got to be within like spitting distance of a beach.
No, I'm not going to pay those prices. So,
but I'm telling you, if you look at Cocoa Beach, it's really not bad.
No, my dad's been planning to move down to the Jacksonville area and Amelia Island, all that stuff. So I don't. He's just having a little trouble selling the house.
Or just wait till he moves, and then you've got permanent vacation home to go down whenever you want.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's even cheaper.
I was sitting there waiting for him to finally get moved down in there. But yeah, I would rather. I said, and I mean, I got to admit, I've never been on the Atlantic side of the of Florida. I mean, I'm planning a trip down there next year, but so much I might like it better. But
I just want to be somewhere where the winteriest thing that I own is possibly a long sleeve t-shirt.
There you go. That's what I'm wanting right there.
And a couple weeks out of the year, I have to put on socks with my flip-flops.
There you go.
I don't wear socks and sandals. I'm going to be that old man with the whole camel toe thing going on.
Oh, God.
On my feet.
Oh.
I was going to say, yours isn't a camel toe.
no, he's got the moose knuckle running around.
What moose knuckle feet?
We just went to a whole new level.
Oh, my. I do that occasionally if my feet are cold in here. I'll throw on a pair of socks and slip my flip-flops back on. And Teresa's like, really? Please don't.
I've got sandals, but I mean, they're not the type that the thing goes in between your toes. I can't deal with that. So
I've actually cut the big toe out of my socks, and that way I could get the thing in between my toes. But I still have socks on. That works really well, actually.
You did what?
You know, you cut the big toe out of your sock, so you can get your big toe and your small toe. Oh, Sally's got somewhere to flip.
Then your big toe gets cold.
Well, it'll be fine. Then you can turn it around and put it on your big toe once it's through the thingy.
Yeah, if you find these sandals, they're called toe socks. They're very sought after by the yoga community, and they separate all your toes.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing for Jim to go down and pick all those up.
It's almost like you're not clenching your toes. Whenever I wear flip-flops, usually I clench on my toes, and so I can keep the sandal on my foot. And I don't even realize I'm doing it unless I pay attention. I don't know. They'll get on my feet.
Yeah, best that I'd be wearing my Jesus shoes with socks. I don't wear socks in my sandals, but I would prefer the Jesus sandals.
So I get this message last night through eBay from just a random person that goes, "Hey, I live in wherever, Alabama, nearby city, and was just searching anybody nearby that sells Hallmark. Thought you might be interested in this estate sale over in Rock Springs, Georgia that has a ton of Hallmark." And I'm like, and that's like, "Have a great day," or whatever. And I'm like, just really like, why? And they had 24,000 feedback to it. I mean, it was really nice, but it wasn't somebody that like I know or that knows us or watches our videos, or it was just a random eBayer letting me know about this estate. And my first thought was, okay, it's probably somebody that works for the estate sale company trying to drum up business, which is kind of spammy, but like whatever, if that's what they were doing. But Eric and I were looking at before the show started, and I mean, it's pretty awesome, but I'm not going to drive to, I don't even know where Rock Springs is. I think that's right on the other side of the border, the wall, the Georgia wall. Where is Rock Springs? Okay, it's down below Chattanooga. I mean, it's not a bad drive, but I'm not going to drive over there for a bunch of boxed Hallmark ornaments that they have $5 a piece on, and on a good day, I'm going to get $12.99 free shipping.
Yeah, but if you could go down, I mean, if you were a clothing reseller, you would go down there and then hit the bins in Chattanooga. I mean, you could make a day trip out of it and do really well.
I could make a day trip out to Chattanooga and do really well. I mean, there's enough stuff around there between here and there. I probably would never even make it to Chattanooga with all the stuff between here and there, but I don't know. It was just a really odd message, though.
It's strange.
I mean, it was really nice of them, I guess, but
Maybe just somebody looking out for you.
I don't know.
You can always use that, right? You can always use friends in low places.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could probably use a few more friends in high places.
No, you need those low places too sometimes.
Yeah, but I got a lot of them. I just need some high places. Low place friends are pretty easy to find. It's those high place ones that are tough.
They're few and far between.
I got a few people that I know that are pretty high up in certain areas, but
Yeah.
And I got another message last night that was like, hey, just want to let you know our family's from Alabama and our last name is blah, blah, blah. And I noticed the address was similar or whatever. Best of luck with your sales. Thanks so much. I was like, I mean, that was really cool. I just cringe when I get a message from buyer because I just know it's going to be something bad.
Last week was rough. It was like I got like 20 messages, and every time I'm like, is it a refund? Is it a refund? Nobody's bitching. Okay, somebody had a question. You know. It was a rough week because I mean I had to file 2 claims in the last week for damage, and both my buyers are like, I don't understand how this got damaged. It was really well packed, and they left me great feedback, but it's like, don't worry about it, refund it, and I'll file the claim. And you know, then I had another person wasn't happy with something, and somebody else was complaining because he can't read the description, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to send it back. That's too much hassle.
I had to go to the post office yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I bought Tristan something that was coming out of India.
Are you finally get it?
Track it. And we were coming up to our parkway, and I'm like, the main post office, right? I said, you know what? I'm going to slip in there, show them the tracking. And of course, yesterday was the day that postal tracking and everything was down. So the guy goes in the back, he checks. I told him which carrier was ours, and he went and checked in her bin. He's like, I don't see anything. I even checked in the bin next to it, whatever. And I was like, well, it shows it was delivered here at 6:20, 6:23. It came from the main Huntsville sorting center, arrived at this post office 6:23. I said, is that soon enough that it could have got on her route? And I said, because she's already run and we have nothing. I said, I've already called my son at the house. He took a picture of the incoming mail and it's not in there. Send me a picture of it. And come to find out, we get home and like 20 minutes later, she comes back on her route and delivers it. It was tiny. It was like, if you've ever ordered something from India, they kind of like take scraps of whatever and just slap a label on it. They spare no expenses with their packaging.
Huh.
But so I got it. Anyhow, I got the thing. It was a moonstone ring. She loves moonstones, and I had gotten her a pendant, and it was kind of a crapshoot because I knew coming out of India. I mean, it was sterling. I paid like $15 shipped.
Yeah.
Hush! I know you were listening from the other room, and I told her, I said it's not. And and the stone quality I wasn't terribly happy. She likes it. I said until we can get you the one you want. Oh, she's gonna come in and show it.
You are.
Oh, I'm gonna show
Got a
it.
brassiere on.
That's really cool.
Nice pretty pendant.
That's pretty.
So yeah.
Because our anniversary's coming up, and that's when you can get me a big one.
Is this what I have to fill out?
I filled out the stuff I could.
You put I was unemployed?
I put you're self-employed.
Why'd you circle unemployed?
I thought it said Did I really?
Yeah. You might as well go ahead and do retired and disabled too. It's fine.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I thought that was mine. I don't know. I have issues, you know that.
We're changing to our new doctor today. My luck, I'll walk in, he'll be like, when's the last time you had your prostate checked? But we can do that another time. Provide copy of insurance card.
I don't know. I'm still glitching up over here.
Did you get in using that link?
Try and get there.
Hey, you don't know my age? Tristan's like, I filled out all the stuff I could. She left age.
My sound okay?
No.
Nikki.
Define okay. What's today? 8/22/7.
What you doing today, Nikki?
Getting ready for Steam Show
Oh. When's that?
this weekend.
So how many trucks and trailers do you have to drive to take all that stuff you're pulling out of your barn?
We just haul up a few things every day. Well, we hauled up some stuff on my dad's trailer. We hauled some stuff up on our trailer yesterday, and then some stuff we leave up in the shed up there too. So
I was watching you drag all that stuff out, thinking, man, that's a lot of stuff. I hope it's close.
no, it's about well, it is to my dad's, but to our house, it's probably about 35, 40 miles.
That's not bad.
No, it's not terrible, but
How you spell penicillin?
P-I-P-E.
Penis with a C.
Penis with a C.
No.
penicillin is P-E-N.
P-E-N-I-C-I-L-L.
I-L-I.
I was right.
Penis with a C.
Okay, I'm never going to forget that now.
Well, it's not penicillin that I'm allergic to, but it's whenever they put me under to operate on my ankle and put the bars in. He comes out and he's like, did you know you're allergic to whatever it was? I think that's what it was. And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, we had a hard time getting you to come back around. I'm like, oh, wow, that's what I wanted to hear.
So you're allergic to the not penicillin, but the local, whatever they used to put you under.
No, I can't remember. I probably could call that surgeon's office and get him to pull my chart, which would take forever. ADHD tested yes or no. What? Squirrel? I'm totally writing in. Squirrel? Where?
Then either today or tomorrow, I think I'll get my flea market stuff all ready and get that hauled out.
Forgetfulness? What?
That's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have two 10 by 20 spots. So
What are you taking? Just
what am
like,
I taking?
yeah, like what are you gonna try and sell?
Oh, just a little bit of everything. I've got like some flea market kind of stuff, like porcelain dolls and little trinkets like that kind of stuff that you always see at a flea market. And then and then I'll have tractor parts, and I'll have just all kinds of different kinds of like man stuff, parts and stuff like that.
Man part.
Mostly some motorcycle parts and car parts and because we're featuring the antique motorcycles this year, and so there'll be a lot of motorcycle people up there. So I've been buying a lot of motorcycle parts.
Huh.
Vintage motorcycle parts mostly.
Oh God, when did I have a tetanus?
But my one trailer will probably take up most of the spot on one spot, so that's why I'm getting two spots this year.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And then I was thinking those pants I bought the other day for $2 a pair. I figure I'll bring those up and try to sell them for $10 a pair.
Yeah.
They're nice pants.
How many pairs did you get?
50.
Awesome.
69, 40.
Yeah, I figure if I sell them on eBay, I'll profit at least $8 a pair at the least.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm gonna try them up there first and see how it goes. See if I get rid of some of them up there. They're nice work cargo pants. They're like a step down from Dickies, so
Yeah.
A little
Well,
Dickie.
Those should do really well.
yeah, they're little Dickie. They're little Dickies.
I just wanted to hear little Nicky say little Dickie.
Oh, Lord.
Disabled, if yes, reason. Well, I have to put that down now because Tristan circled it. I know she put unemployed.
And then Thursday we'll take the steam engine out. So it'll be ready for Friday. But we don't take that out of lock and key till the last minute because
Oh my God,
it's got a lot of brass on it.
This is insane.
That would be fun to go to.
It is a lot of fun. We enjoy them.
No, I've never seen a gyno.
Well, that's good for
Never seen
Tristan.
a psychiatrist.
And I brought my power wagon up there yesterday, and my little DR power wagon, and I ended up dumping myself off of it.
Oh my gosh.
I was backing up. It was just real slow, but I was backing up, and that thing gets kind of squirrely when you're backing up. And yeah, it just dumped me right off. I fell on my back, and my husband. The funny thing is I'm doing this. My husband says I'm gonna go over here and pee, and so he went behind this one truck and went to pee, and I was backing up. I had some wood in there that I was hauling for him, and I was backing up, and all of a sudden it dumped me over. Well, it was still moving when I was on the ground.
Oh my God.
And I put my leg up to keep it from coming at me, And I go, dear, and he's running over trying to get his pants back, getting his pants closed up. He's like, I think I pissed on myself. He goes, are you okay? I was running over. Are you okay? I was like, yeah, I was laughing. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But just get this thing to stop moving because I'm on the ground and I didn't want it to hit something, Yeah, that was pretty funny. He didn't really pee on himself, but
Breast implants.
he's like, you know how hard it is to shut the stream off?
Oh my.
That was my excitement for the day.
Sounds like you have fun.
I have some kind of allergies or something this morning. My nose is itchy and I'm all stuffy.
Yeah, I think there's something in the air. Yesterday it was horrible, but today it's still even yucky.
Yeah.
I certify that all this is true.
You know, last year when I had my flea market, I had a trailer full of John Deere parts. And everybody that came by, oh, look at all the green. Oh, John Deere. Oh, you know, and they were all coming over, and I sold the shit out of those parts. So I should do pretty well this year because I've got way more parts than I had last year and better parts.
Good.
But last year, it was pretty cool. It was, was it last year or was it the year before? I thought it was last year. Anyways, I went to this auction, and there was this big, huge pile of parts, tractor parts. And they let everybody, you know, buy their $45 parts and their $100 parts and let everybody pick through this pile, you know. And then all of a sudden, there was still this huge pile of parts. And so all of a sudden, the bidding, I ended up getting a whole pile with. It filled up our Dodge pickup, the box of the Dodge pickup, heaping full of parts. Anyways, I ended up getting that whole pile for like $12.
Wow.
And I sold some of them on eBay, and then I sold a lot of them up there. I've only got probably about 6 or 7 of those parts left.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I sold the rest of them, and up at the flea market, I mean, I sold them for, well, none of them went less than $10, but most of them went for 20 and up.
Cool.
So yeah, I sold the crap out of those parts, but that was awesome. And most of them I didn't even have to ship because I sold them up at the steam show, you know.
Yeah.
History. In a broke ankle. Moon River. He is not checking my butthole. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
They don't usually do that on the first appointment.
Actually, the worst part about it is when you're bent over and they're doing that, and he puts both hands on your shoulders.
He's like, when's your last frost? I was like the 15th of February. Exit only.
Oh.
Well, you know, I went to my doctor, I think it was, I don't know, 3 years ago, because I thought I needed a physical for that whole, you know, renewing my CDL, which it turns out I needed a frickin', they didn't do actual CDL physicals, or it turns out I didn't actually need it. But I was like, I wanted to get hooked up with the same doctor that Tristan used at the time, because back then we really liked him or whatever, long story. But, and I knew that at some point they quit taking new patients. Well, and Blue Cross has this thing, if you have a primary, or at least if you have a primary doctor designated, you get some cheaper co-pays, crap like that. And I'm like, cool, I'll make him my primary, whatever. So I get all ready thinking he's going to do the whole prostate thing and all that. And they're like, no, why would we do that? I mean, I was like 41 years old. And I was like, well, I thought that's something, I don't know. I'm like, well, what'd I get all mentally psyched up for that for?
Don't they wait till you're 50 to do the prostate?
I mean, a lot of it depends on your history.
No.
It's also going to depend on your blood test. When your blood tests come back with certain levels of the one prostate, I can't remember what it is, T levels or something like that, you'll have to go through that whole process. After Dusty gets done, they're like, call me. Call me.
I mean, see, and I'm totally the guy that'll be like, aren't you going to kiss me first? Like, I will say stuff like I'll have the doctor laughing to the point where he can't even do it. And I will encourage Tristan to stay in the room just to laugh at me Like I will be, you know, they'll be like, "You want your wife?" I'll be like, "No, she can stay in here because this is going to be fun."
Nice. I don't think I would say that. The doctor's gonna stick his finger up my butt. The last thing I would be saying is, "This is gonna be fun."
Yeah. This is going to be, let me rephrase it. This is going to be mildly amusing.
The doctor's gonna be scared if you say that.
After about 10 minutes, Dusty's like, you know, I got a dentist doc. You don't need to go that far in.
Can you dim the lights and put on some music?
Yeah, there you go.
That was this last year. My husband had to go in and have his esophagus stretched, and he had to have a colonoscopy because his dad had colon cancer. Anyways, so I told him, I told the doctor, I said, well, make sure you don't do the colon first. Make sure you do the esophagus first.
I'm sorry, I don't really know. But what's an esophagus stretching?
They go in, they put a scope down in there, and they end up stretching out the esophagus.
And what's that?
It's he has a smaller esophagus than most people, and it'll make him choke when he eats.
Huh.
So you have to go in and have it stretched.
Hold on.
Well, a few women could use that.
Nice. His grandpa and his aunt have all had that problem. So.
Didn't know that was an option.
Yeah. It was getting so bad. I mean, he would eat anything, and he would start choking. It was getting to the point where it was hard for him to even eat anything solid.
Yeah, that's not good.
So I thought of something yesterday.
Brace yourself. What'd you think of?
I had a whole bunch of these newspapers that were just going to get thrown away yesterday. And they have a story about the eclipse and a, like, diagram on where you could see it, safety measures and stuff like that. I thought I'm going to try and put those up.
Why not?
You know what I mean? Somebody may have had something happen in their life yesterday, like a baby born or, something like that, and they want it for history purposes.
Yeah.
So.
What are you thinking of selling them for?
I'm not sure yet. I'm actually gonna wait until freaking eBay can do whatever it's supposed to do. Search it.
Yep, all kinds of Eclipse newspapers already up.
Yeah. I'll wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit though.
Yeah. Wait till those kind of fell off a little bit, and then then put them up. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I did last time with the other ones.
If you wait a little bit, you get a chance for people who have thrown away their papers and not realize it. Actually, there's only 48 listings up, and some of those are like older stuff dealing with the eclipse and things like that, like 1947s and 79s and stuff like that. So.
And I have two different papers. I have the Detroit News, and I have the Today paper, Today's News.
Good.
So.
I think that's a great idea.
I was like, well,
does your where you work, do they sell the newspaper inside or out of the box?
Inside.
Well, the guy that comes around to do those, just thinking here, when he comes around,
my friend.
Will he give you, like on Sunday, will he ever give you all the coupons? Will he hold it? Because you could sell those on eBay. That's free money.
You can't sell as many as you used to be able to.
Yeah,
could you lot them up by like, this is the whole insert from such and, without having to cut them out and do all that, and just sell whole bulk lot of inserts?
Nope, they won't let you do books anymore. They won't let you do the whole books anymore.
Are you serious?
Yep. All you can do, I think it's 20 coupons per month.
Yeah.
For a total of $100, I believe.
I bet that's because people were using them to get us feedback builders.
I used to sell coupons regularly on eBay.
Well, like on certain dates, if there's a really good one, like let's say there's a Gillette $5 off or something like that, could you have him save you all the inserts and just go through and pick out all the Gillettes and lot together like the $5 ones or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, if there's leftovers to be had, you know, they're basically mine. So if anybody out there does couponing, get a hold of me. Yeah, if people do it, you know, illegally, Jim, I can totally understand, you know, using coupons to buy stuff, you know, get it cheap or free, and then returning the items to get cash back. That's not cool. And it really screwed everybody.
Well, remember I don't know, they had a TV show. I can't remember what it was called, but it was all about the couponing people who would go in and
that was a big
walk out
fake.
with $800 worth of stuff and pay $6. And they just destroyed the coupon policies of a lot of major retailers out there, meaning Kroger's and Walmart and all that. They changed their coupon policies because they're like,
well, the thing is that there is really Mother's Mustache. Oh, that I'm gonna have to talk to you about that. I seen those shows, and you get the backstory later on people that know those people in person. And yeah, extreme couponing. Yeah, they would go and they would, I've told people this before, they would go and they would go to their pharmacy and they would change over from their pharmacy to another pharmacy, get all these gift cards for like Myers.
Yep.
And then use those gift cards against their balance on those shows. And I'm like, really? That's so fake. I mean, yeah, you can do that, but you're not working towards, you know, I mean, I would go into Walmart, price match against another store, and then use a coupon, and I'd walk away with them giving me money. Now that's how you do it.
Yeah. Well, no, I would, my wife was into she had a giant book, but a lot of those people were also subscribing to coupon services where, you know, these people get newspapers from all over the country, and you just say, I want $1,000 worth of coupons every week sent to me, and they would mail them to you, and you pay a fee for that.
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
What?
Tristan? That was the doctor's office. And they're canceling.
Oh, no.
He died last week. It's not, no, I swear. She's like, doctor, I'm going to say, doctor, he actually passed away last week. And I'm like, I said, I don't even know what to say, but you're in our thoughts and hearts and prayers. And
wow.
Oh my God.
He was actually back in like Czechoslovakia or wherever visiting his family.
That's so sad.
It is
Was he a
sad.
younger guy or an older guy or what?
He was probably, I think he'd been practicing he was probably in his 60s. At least maybe 70s. I mean, he was, you know, he wasn't young, but really seriously. Like, I'm not mad at him, obviously, but like, he found a great doctor. Like,
well,
yeah, he was something that you guys were looking for.
yeah, he was exactly what, and she's like, his nurse practitioner is going to continue to practice as soon as we get a new doctor in, and I mean, he was recommended by our Tristan's chiropractor, who's in the same little complex there, and had known him for years as a friend, and he was also his doctor. So I guess I'll have to call back to the wow.
That's crazy.
That's the way my luck is with doctors. I find a doctor I like, and they end up. Well, I've never had one die, but they always become hospitalists, or they move to a different clinic, or.
Yeah, that's my doctor. I absolutely love moved to a different office. Actually, as a nurse practitioner, she moved to a different office, and they don't take my insurance. And it's like, well, that just sucks. I mean, I don't mind the person I have now, but I really liked her.
He died on the 16th. And he died here in town. He died last Wednesday. Wow. Tris, she couldn't have waited.
Is she okay?
He was 71.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
No, sorry for your loss.
We just got to start the low. I didn't even know him. I never met. I mean, I appreciate it, but now we got to start.
I know, but
all over.
You get excited about having a doctor, now you got to go find another one.
Yeah.
You just filled all of that crap for nothing.
Save those papers. And
and the first words out of my mouth with the chick was like, "Well, can I throw all these papers away now?" Started to say that.
Just save all those papers and give them to the next one.
That sucks, though. Sorry about that, Dusty. Tristan.
This is the crap like this could only happen to us. I'm being serious.
No, dude, you don't even know. I think there's a group of us people in the world that is just handpicked for that kind of stuff.
Yep. That's the way my life goes all the time. Stuff like that always happens to me.
I mean,
goofy stuff. It's gonna happen to anybody. It happens to me. When I look for a doctor, I look for a doctor who is male, first of all, because a woman doesn't belong down there. And second of all, I don't like women doctors. I'm kind of chauvinistic that way. But anyways, I look for a doctor that has the thickest accent.
Oh, not me.
I want a foreign doctor.
Why?
Why?
I just always have had better luck with foreign doctors. The thicker the accent, it seems, the better doctor they are.
Well, the last one before the one we get rid of, he was like Polish or something. This guy was, I believe, Czechoslovakian. But I mean, and that seems to be really prevalent. I'm sure it is everywhere. It seems to be really prevalent here.
Indian doctors from India, they seem to be the best. Really and truly, with my experience.
You want to see about getting me off the
Doctor, I can barely understand, but he's awesome.
I can't handle that.
But how do you know what they're telling you?
Well, I mean, I can understand him, but sometimes I have to have him repeat himself because he's hard to understand.
Yeah.
But he's an excellent doctor. And I've when I went every time I say this is my doctor, they're asking who your doctor is. If you go to the emergency room, or if you go to another clinic, or if you go to whatever, they're always they always ask you who your doctor is, and I tell them, and they're like, oh, he's a good doctor. He is a really good doctor. I mean, just out of the blue, they're like, wow, that's a great doctor. So. He's kind of got the personality of a horse, but he is a good doctor. And my husband, he has another doctor that he can barely understand them. I can understand them fine, but Gary can barely understand them. But he's another really good doctor, and yeah, I mean, comes highly recommended. Everybody's like, "Ooh, that's a good doctor," you know. So I like our doctors, our foreign doctors. But I will not go to a woman. One time I had a doctor who came highly recommended when I had my first daughter, and he was on, of course, on vacation when I went into labor. And when I had my second child, they told me that the doctor before had butchered my insides. And that's why I wasn't able to have my second child, because I had C-section with both. See why there was no reason why you couldn't have your second, because the first time Brandy was looking out, not her head, but her face was coming out. So that's why they had to do a C-section. But otherwise she would have snapped her little neck. Anyways, but with my second daughter, there was no reason why I couldn't give birth to her naturally. Other than he said that I was so butchered inside that's why I couldn't give birth naturally. And that was why I ended up with 4 days of hard back labor and everything. That everything was all messed up in there. So,
but usually most of the time, if you have one C-section, they recommend you to have another C-section.
Yeah, and they that's not anymore. They say there's no reason why you can't have a baby naturally. And the way the baby was positioned and everything was perfect, and so there was no reason why I couldn't. Other than I was so butchered inside. There was so much scar tissue and everything was all messed up. And so ever since then, I was like, well, I ain't going to a woman doctor. Yes, granted, there are men doctors out there that do wrong, but I just don't like their. It's like, and I don't want to offend anybody or anything, but I just don't. I don't care for that attitude of I am a woman, hear me roar. I can do whatever a man can do. Because there are roles for men and there are roles for women. And I mean, yes, I can do a lot of man stuff. I used to work right along with my husband. I could lift a couple 100 pounds, but there was still stuff that I couldn't do that I needed my husband to do it. And I'm not afraid to admit that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it seems like women doctors aren't like that. It's like they're trying to prove themselves, and so they try to show off and whatever and try to be a star. Well, I don't need a doctor that wants to be a star. I need a doctor that wants to take care of the situation, not be a star. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think all women doctors are like that though, Nikki. I mean, I'm sure there's some are.
I understand, and I realize that. I mean, everybody isn't that way. I understand. But with my experience, women doctors that I've had are all like that. And they just piss me off because it's like, I don't need you to shine right. I mean, I don't need you to think that you're going to get into a medical journal or some stupid shit like that when you're taking care of me. I just need you to be my doctor.
Yeah.
Figure this out and get it taken care of.
Right.
So, and I always felt like every woman doctor that I've ever gone to, I've always just felt like she just needed to be the star, like she was trying to prove something,
Hmm.
No offend anybody. Women doctor, I'm sure there's a lot of women doctors out there that are good. My daughter, as a matter of fact, has a woman doctor she absolutely loves. I have a niece who has a woman doctor who she absolutely loves and raves about. But it's just my preference,
Right. Yeah, I think some women I think are more able to communicate with men better on that level.
Yeah.
Like about what's going on with them. Like you don't, like it's almost a thing with women to where they, if you say that something's wrong with you, then you feel bad about yourself almost. Like it's like a self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
And so, if you're telling some other woman that something is wrong with you, then you feel like you're almost kind of beating down on yourself a little bit. So I understand that. I have a woman doctor, and she's great with me. She knows that I'm completely nuts, and that you know, but she knows that, you know, I try to do what she tells me to do, but sometimes I'm very stubborn.
Yeah.
And she just has to sit there and feed it into my head. But
I went and saw a woman gynecologist one time, and when I had an issue, and she was so freaking rude. She was like, you need to lose weight, blah, blah. I understand that. Okay, so I know I'm fat, right? Whatever. But that isn't what bothers me, because, you know, all doctors have to say that. But what bothered me was when my husband walked into the room. She's like, oh, well, your husband is skinny. Well, what the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
yeah, really.
What, because he's skinny, I should be skinny? Or are you surprised that I have a skinny husband and he still loves me? You know?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, no.
No, but I've had that same exact thing happen to me, Nikki. When I had a different husband.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But I mean, you know, why are you acting surprised that I have a skinny husband? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just being an
And
asshole.
and why
that's
would
all.
you verbalize it? Even if you were wondering why I have a skinny husband, why would you verbalize it to me? Why wouldn't you wait till I leave the office and say, wow, she's got a skinny husband? You know, whatever. Please change her or something. You know, I don't know. Whatever. She shouldn't have said anything to me about it. I thought it was rude. My husband did too.
Yeah.
My husband's usually very passive about everything.
Right.
And don't like to rock the boat. Don't like to, you know. And even he was offended. Whew. Yeah. So.
Don't read that out loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't care for women doctors.
Yeah. I think you just have to keep looking for the one. I mean, because not everybody's going to get along, and you know, everybody's going to have their own little things. So
I have a male gynecologist who's hot as hell, and but he's nice to look at. He always wears black jeans, and I love men in black jeans. And he's just hot as hell, and he's just nice as can be. And he got my mother-in-law through cervical cancer, and at like 70 some years old, or 70 years old, and he's just a really, really good doctor. And he's the only gynecologist that would give me a hysterectomy. And he's just wonderful. And then I have a male regular doctor. Just love him. I mean, he's, like I said, he's got a personality of a horse, but he seems to be smart as hell. So whatever.
I'm sure.
don't pay any attention to me.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Well, it's hard because you're like, you get a dork and shit.
Oh my gosh. Too funny.
Yeah, where I go, my nurse practitioner, you know, was really great and everything. And then I went. She was pregnant at the time, and so she leaves had a child. So I get shoved to the doctor. Doctor's a crotchety old man, and he started questioning me on everything on my chart. Like I had initially gone because I had a lot of back pain, and I felt like you thought I was a pill seeker or something like that.
That's exactly what happened with our old doctor. We loved the nurse practitioner, and then they go, "Oh no, we're going to move her to nursing home. She's not in the office anymore." And so we go back to see, you know, we have to start seeing the regular doctor, and he's just a douche. Like even his reviews are horrible. I was like, wow, how did we never know this? Well, wow, because we never saw him except one time in the very beginning. You know, he looks at Tristan, just different things. I mean, telling us we have to, you know, she takes a low dose Xanax at night to sleep and has forever. We can only write that 30 days at a time. And I'm like, that's bullshit. So I go to Publix and I talk to the pharmacist. I'm like, I said, and then he tells us you have to come in because we're not allowed to electronically send a Xanax prescription. Yeah, with Xanax you are. So I asked the Publix pharmacist, I said, can you electronically transmit? She goes, yeah, that's not the class of drugs. That's, you know, some pain pills.
Yeah, it's a very low class drug.
She goes, yes, you can actually, we get them all the time. And I said, can you get more than 30 days? She goes, we have people get 90 days all the time. I'm like, well, why does he lie to us? Yeah. You know, if you need our copay every 30 days or whatever, that's freaking fine. Just tell me that.
Yeah.
You know, but in the meantime, this is, you know, don't lie to me. It just really condescending. And then I start reading the reviews and it's like, review after review. I was talking to Dr. Let's call him Smith, although his name was Polish. It wasn't Smith. You know, talking to Dr. So-and-so, and in the middle of explaining my problems, he walks out of the room. You know, doesn't listen, won't shut up long enough to listen. You know, just horrible reviews. So that's why we were firing him. One of the many reasons. Anyhow,
yeah. No, I walked in there after I'd done that initial visit. I walked out. I'm like, yeah, this guy just thinks I'm a freaking pill seeker, and didn't even ask me. Just come out and say, "Are you on drugs or addicted or something?" But you know, I'm getting Flexeril. That's the pill I'm taking is Flexeril. I mean, it's not like I'm getting high off of a back, you know, spasm medicine or something. So I go the next time, and they shove me into this room. I'm like, I'm seeing Dr. Probst, right? And they're like, "Oh no, you're here for." I'm like, "No, I'm not." I said, I need to see her, or I'm not going to be here. I'm not dealing with that dude again. And literally the assistant goes, okay, I understand, and takes me over to her room. And so she walks in and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be seen by that other doctor. I said, don't really care for his attitude. She's like, that's okay, we get it. So I mean, they knew he was a douche and continued. I don't know if he's there anymore or not, because I saw a younger guy. I mean, the guy was older. He was 65 or so. But when I went to my doctor's appointment a couple weeks ago, I noticed there was a younger guy there. So
I mean, I can understand them being cautious because there are so many people like that.
But when you have a history of somebody that's been on the same damn dosage of Xanax for 5 years, hasn't had its lowest dose, and hasn't asked to have it upped or doesn't ask for other drugs, you have a 5-6 year chart of that. It's obvious they're not a drug seeker. You know, use some common sense. And then there was, like Tristan said just now in the side chat, he didn't write stuff in her chart. She goes in and she's like, I feel a lump in my breast, whatever. I need to have you refer me out for a diagnostic mammogram, not just, you know, the regular one. They're like, okay. He's like, okay, whatever, you know. And then 2 weeks later, she calls. She's like, where's it at? And they're like, well, we don't have any record of it in the chart. You're going to have to come back in and see him again. She's like, no, I already visited for my regular appointment that you make me have to get my meds refilled. And she goes, and he told me he was going to do it. I'm not coming back in for another appointment for something because he dropped the ball. And it was just, but it was this same crap over and over. And then I start reading the reviews and it's like, he has a really bad history of telling people he'll give them a referral and then not doing it. This is a normal thing.
Yeah.
Now we had a problem at the clinic, and it wasn't actually the doctor's fault. It's the clinic's fault. Because my husband's an asthmatic his whole life, allergies to everything his whole life, and he's been taking this inhaler his whole entire life, and then just in the past like 10 years he's been taking the Advair inhaler also. Well, anyways, the clinic called him and told him on one of his prescriptions that he wasn't going to get it renewed until he came in and saw the doctor, and that they wouldn't renew it because they weren't sure if he still needed it. And it's like, he's been taking it his whole freaking life, you know? Well, anyways, so he made the appointment, had to wait like 2 weeks, and he ended up running out of his inhaler, which was horrible for him. Yeah. And he went in and saw his doctor, and he's like, so why are you here today? And he goes, well, because they said you wouldn't fill my prescription if I didn't come in and see you. He goes, oh, no. He said, you've been on this your whole entire life. He said, no, I'll prescribe it. I'll fill your prescription, you know. So the doctor had not even gotten the notice that he needed it filled. It was the clinic who was saying, no, he can't have it filled because he hasn't been here for X amount of months.
Yeah.
He said, no, let me get this going right away, you know, and he ended up giving my husband a neb treatment that day because my husband was half dead because he hadn't had his inhaler for a few weeks. And
Jeez.
and that's another thing. Okay, it's an inhaler. What is he going to do with the inhaler? Is he going to, well, I mean, I suppose he could overdose, but I doubt it. But why would you take away somebody's breath? You know,
Right.
their breathing.
Right.
Why would you take away their air? You know, I mean, I could see if it was like pain pills or something like that. But I mean, an inhaler that makes him be able to breathe. I mean, why would you take
Right.
that away? Why
I'll tell
would you
what,
not
Chris,
fill it one more time and say, we're not going to fill it again until you come in? You know what I mean?
our
I
Blue
I mean,
Cross,
that was total
our Blue
BS.
Cross for a lot of years hated inhalers. I mean, it was like $250 a pop, and we did have one doctor at one point in time that would have samples, like they would have actual whole inhalers, and it
Mhm.
never hurt. It might not hurt to ask your doctor if they happen to have any and see if they give them to you for free, unless
Yeah,
you
they
got
don't.
good insurance.
They don't get samples anymore.
Hmm.
God,
Well,
it's so hard to
usually,
even get. One time my mother-in-law had surgery, and she actually because she was a raging diabetic, they cut into her foot, put a hole completely through her foot for it to heal from the inside out. Okay,
oh wow.
and we had to pack it with this stuff and whatever, and we had to bandage it all up and stuff, and they would not give us any bandaging whatsoever.
Jeez.
When my mother used to, because my mother was a raging diabetic, and when she used to go to the doctor and she'd have these kinds of surgeries, they would load us up with bandages.
Yeah.
But no, they wouldn't. And my mother-in-law was on Social Security insurance, whatever that is, and Medicare or whatever, and it was horrible. And so, I mean, me and my husband actually had to go buy all the bandaging for it because her insurance wouldn't cover it.
That's awful.
And because when you have surgery, and I was told this by a doctor, when you have surgery, that price allows for that bandaging to go home with you.
Mhm.
They would not give it to my mother-in-law.
The NFL's national anthem protest.
What
Oh yeah. Whenever I have any kind of surgery or procedure done, I take
Yeah.
everything. I take the tissues. I take everything that
Yeah.
I'm allowed to take. That I'm not gonna get called the
I got
cops on.
I got an EKG machine in my purse.
Yeah, but especially like something like that where it's an infection issue, and they drilled a hole in their foot, and you had to pack it with this stuff. Do you really want me to take the chance of buying the wrong shit?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I
They
mean,
should be giving you stuff, and then even if you have to supplement with more or something, that way you'll at least know what to use.
yeah, no, they wouldn't give us any of it. It was just they're very
That's crazy.
they're getting very stingy with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, doctors just piss me off. That one time I went with my back. I don't know if I told you guys this story, but I had this back issue and I could barely walk two steps, and I had to sit down on my walker, and I had to use a walker. And it was a sciatic issue. Anyways, they gave me an epidural to get rid of it. Well, then it came back. So I told my doctor, I said, I want this fixed. I don't want it just to get a Band-Aid on it, and every year I got to come back with the same pain and get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you have to be referred to the spine clinic. And I said, okay, so refer me to the spine clinic. He goes, well, you have to come in and be seen, and I can't get you in for a couple of weeks. This was a different doctor, not my regular doctor. Anyways, so I was like, okay, well, get me in with any doctor, And so they got me into this doctor, and the nurse who was bringing me back, or medical assistant, or whatever the hell she is nowadays. They're never nurses anymore. She goes, just so you know, and I'm walking back there, and she's walking too fast, and I'm like, can you slow down, please? I can't walk very fast. And I mean, I'm sitting there with my walker. I'm in my 30s using a walker, And I said, can you slow down, please? And she goes, just so you know. And just she was so rude about it. You will not be receiving any prescription for any kind of narcotics today. I was like, well, just so you know, if you would have looked at my chart, you would have found out that I'm allergic to all narcotics, and I'm not here to get narcotics. I'm here to get a referral to the spine clinic. Well, I just wanted to let you know that we're not going to give you any narcotics. I was like, oh my God, you were such a bitch. I was so pissed. I mean, I'm crying, and I was hurting so bad. I mean, this pain, I could not lay a certain way. I couldn't sit a certain way. It constantly hurt for like a month, and nobody could figure out why it was hurting, or they couldn't figure out how to get it to go away, and it was horrible. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sit. I couldn't nothing, and it was getting to me, you know, and it was just this excruciating pain, 24/7. It never stopped hurting, and this bitch was going to sit there and argue with me about narcotic. Oh, I was so angry. I ended up calling the administrator and everything else. I was bringing the wrath of God down on her. I was so mad.
Yeah, and that's what people need to do, you know, like if they have a bad experience with the doctor, don't think that, you know, just because they have, you know, have their name on the building or whatever, that they're the, you know, they're the ones that, you know, they can be there no matter what. You call state board, you know, and complain about them if you have to. If they're really doing something, you know, that bad, you need to let people know.
Blackberry Thistle Tea says anybody here only take PayPal and not credit cards. I think PayPal takes the credit cards, but if you want to take credit cards, you have to actually have merchant account, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do your own credit card processing, you have to have a separate merchant account, and you can set that up. But PayPal is set up to accept people's credit cards if they don't like, but some people don't like PayPal, or they have their own. A lot of times they have your own. You already have like a brick and mortar, and you already have a provider, so you just do that as well.
Right.
Has anybody else gotten their new PayPal debit card with the frickin' chip in it?
No, are they actually doing that?
Yeah, they sent. We have two PayPal debit cards, and we received a chip for one of them yesterday, and had to cancel the old one and activate it. Oh, I hate chip cards.
I do too.
Yeah. Got it right here, brother.
Yeah.
This thing's cool. It has no numbers in the front.
Let me see the other side.
What's the number on that? Oh, there's no numbers.
I'm not going to do a Sally.
Here's my numbers.
I don't have that number anymore, just so you know, because I got scammed. That's not the reason why, though.
Yeah,
so I had to get another card.
That was episode 28, timestamp 5.
I don't know how I got scammed after I showed my credit card number to the whole entire internet.
It wasn't because of that. It really wasn't.
By the way, Dusty, you ready for your exam? All set for you, buddy.
Oh my God. You need some extra
That's the only option I have
gloves.
I take all medical cards, no worries.
Since his doctor died, he may need you.
Jason does it for free because he likes it.
He's like, if you buy me dinner, I won't even charge you.
Tonight, I wanna say one thing for Frankie's fines real quick. I don't want to conversation, but she has a real bad sciatic problem. They gave me an epidural, and that would take it away for like a year. I would go in, and it would be it's a $2,000 shot, but the insurance will cover it, or my insurance did. And also, once I quit my job working in a cubicle, eBay, I have never had that pain again. I had it for 3 years in a row while I worked that job. From truck driving, pig farming, food service, computers, you name it. But once I've never had that problem until I had that cubicle job. That job, I never had that sciatic pain again. So,
Yeah.
Nikki, you
Anyway.
broke up our anus talk for that.
sorry, I just wanted to tell her. Maybe she needs to quit something in her life that's causing it. Continue with your book report.
No, I'm done that.
My daughter was watching this thing one time, and the lady goes, "Continue with your book report." And this is just something funny me and my daughter say. It's kind of a private joke, I guess you guys didn't understand, but it's pretty funny. Anyways, continue with your anal talk.
Sorry, Jason. I think I just developed a sudden latex allergy.
Uh-oh.
That just means he has to smear enough Vaseline on his hand.
That's okay. The glove is optional.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Queen City Picker said Jason will whisper, "I love you" in your ear.
Actually, what Jason is whispering in his ear is, "My turn next."
I mean, here's the hardest thing about finding a doctor. Like, how do you find a doctor? Like, unless it's word of mouth or whatever. Okay, now I'm back to square one. I stepped out of the room a minute ago and called Tristan's chiropractor, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard the news. I thought y'all knew." They'd sent out an email, and I was like, "No, they waited till last minute to call me because they realized they didn't have our email because we were new patients and hadn't filled out the stuff yet." And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "I hate to ask, I know this is, but do you have anybody? I mean, like, what are you going to do? Like, help me." And he's really cool. He's like, "Let me think on that." Tristan's got to be there at 2:30 for a chiropractor. He's like, "I'll let you know something by 2:30. We'll figure something out." He said, "Or I'll call." He said, "What did they tell you?" And I said, "Well, they told me the nurse practitioner was still going to see people, but, of course, she has to find another doctor to fall under first."
Right.
He goes, "We're going to call over there and talk to them. I know them really well and see what they can recommend."
Yeah.
You could do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I mean,
1-800 doctor.
The only thing I know to do is like go to like healthgrades.com and just sit and read reviews. And then once you find one that looks good, Google his name and, find all the other review websites and see. I mean, but it's just really seriously, unless you know somebody that has somebody that they love.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, ask friends and see.
But that's another thing too. I mean, just because somebody likes one doctor doesn't mean that you're gonna like them too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, see who Scott and his wife sees.
I know she's not.
And look.
No, that won't. Wait a minute. I know her.
Anissa came in and she says, I just got here. What's going on? And Beth goes, "Anissa, we are talking about shoving stuff up Dusty's butt. Normal stuff."
Wait a minute. I think I know this.
It doesn't even phase Dusty anymore. It's like, whatever.
Question.
And then Silverhair says, "Anissa, the talk is asses birthing and Jason being creepy." Jason, you did look kind of creepy with that glove.
We talk about a little bit of everything here.
That's right.
And we never know how it's going to go. When we start it, we don't even know. So, and that's okay. We like it like that. It makes it interesting. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Well, we thought about getting a hold of the old nurse practitioner that we love. At the doctor that thank goodness we haven't like technically fired him or left completely, but at the old doctor. But we can't find a way to get a hold of her. like we've tried calling the office, tried asking, well, what do you need her for? It's like literally, I've tried Facebook stalking her to try to find her because she loved us and she would totally understand. And she would probably refer us out to a different physician too, because she understands why we didn't like Dr. Smith, why we wanted to see her every time.
Yeah.
I'm going to slip up and say his name.
Another thing to look for is like what group the doctor's in,
Like whether he's a proctologist or.
No, I mean like say for my doctor, I wanted to be in the Penn Medical group because they have the big hospital and everything. And
all of our doctors here are usually tied to Huntsville Hospital or there's one other hospital called Crestwood, and they're both fine. We don't have a lot of options, so.
Did you see what Todd said? So if you pick a proctologist during an eclipse, you only get a moon exam.
See now I'm thinking of that Seinfeld episode. Remember the guy with the license plate that said "Ass Man"?
Yep.
That was a good episode.
Oh my.
Let's get started. What type of specialist are you looking for?
Etc. Emporium, aka Valerie, said that she put out on Facebook, anybody have any doctor recommendations, and got back quite a few responses. And went to see the most recommended.
Yeah, that's awesome though, except my 34 friends on Facebook are all of y'all and you don't live here.
True.
It's funny. I like my doctor. He's like very conservative. And then all of a sudden, one time I'm in the office and I'm wearing that Walking Dead T-shirt, and he's like, "Dude, Walking Dead, I love that show." You're a man. But it's so funny how many people love that show. You would never think it.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
I know this one.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, this one really old lady had sat down by me at the casino at the Walking Dead machine. And she was probably in her 70s. And she was like, "Do you watch the show?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I just love the show. My favorite show. I never miss it." "Me too." And she just started rambling off about the Walking Dead. And she was more excited about the damn game than I was. And I'm pretty excited about that game. So I was like, wow. And you'd have never just this old lady who doesn't look like, looks like she watches reruns of Green Acres, and she loves The Walking Dead. Absolutely loves it. Yeah. And I watched the reruns on Netflix and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh my god, me too. I wanted to call her grandma.
You have to think about it. Up to the age of about 50, early 50s maybe would be the limit as far as when zombies became mainstream in the movies. So for someone that old to really like it, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought too. But yeah, she was very excited. She was just almost excited as I was, maybe even more.
You do realize that someone who was 70 years old now was actually born in 47, so they grew up on zombies too.
No, but zombies didn't even become mainstream until '67 when Night of the Living Dead came out.
No, there was
before that. It wasn't very
well. They were zombie movies, but they didn't call them zombie movies back then. They were,
the undead.
They were like Alien, and I mean, there's several good zombie movies, but we just didn't call them zombie movies.
No, they were called Plan 9 from Outer Space.
I was just thinking she's got to be an awesome grandma.
But yeah, that's just not what they call it. Again, Romero coined the phrase and really, came up with the zombie concept that we love today. But but even then, 47 to 66, 67, it's only a 20-year-old person. They were probably watching that. So. We're all getting old. That's all.
I'll give you 10%, Eric.
Y'all are catching up with me.
Catching up with
I'm
you?
not. Screw that.
You're gonna catch up to
Is
me.
there a listing?
Catching up, and then you guys are gonna just move right by me and continue.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna stay the
No, I'm
same.
not.
Wait, is there a listing challenge today?
No, she's talking about age.
Oh.
There's a challenge, all right, but it's not a listing challenge. Jason might be a little mentally challenged this morning, but
It's a challenge to not go take a nap right now.
Hey,
So you're done yet,
still haven't
Jason?
finished my call.
I have to work tonight.
Where's
This is
the
your
unit
last
at?
night,
Time-
right?
time- Yeah. Then I have 2 off.
Where's that unit at, Jason?
It's about 2 feet that way, and it's hitting the
Okay,
floor.
why are we always
Well, it is
talking
small,
about
we're talking
Jason's
about
unit?
last night, so I guess we're about right there. So
That isn't today. That doesn't end until tomorrow.
I thought one ended today.
No, tomorrow.
Are you sure?
I'll double check. I'm pretty sure, man.
Pretty sure one of those ended the day, and then you had 2 more that were ending the next day.
Wait, I could be
You
wrong.
had one that was ending like in 13 hours or something like that last night.
I could be wrong. Let's see. Do you remember which site it was?
No,
Never mind. I'll figure it out in a minute.
I think it was the stuff site.
1 day, 2 day, 2 day, and then the other site.
Mother's Mustache, do you have me on Facebook? And if so,
23rd. No. Come on.
Okay.
can you send me a private message, please?
How private?
Very, very private.
Not to you.
I'll send you a private message.
I'm sure you would.
Well, she did ask where your unit was, Jason. So
That was her.
You don't have a Facebook?
who doesn't have a
Hell.
Facebook?
A lot of people don't.
Yeah. Remember, Facebook is for the old people now. Remember? That's the new.
That's right. New people.
I know, but well, I don't want you to have to create one just so that I could talk to you. I mean, if you want to send me an
Facebook is-
email, you can send me an email.
Hit me up on LinkedIn.
How about Instagram or something?
Yeah, that's what she says. She Instagrams, but I wouldn't even know how to get a hold of you on there. I don't have Instagram, so, but I want to learn.
Well, she was willing to start a Facebook for you. Aren't you willing to start an Instagram for her?
Oh yeah, but I don't know how to get on there. I don't know how to do anything on it.
Gee, Sally, be a better friend than that.
No, I'm just saying that I wouldn't even if I got on Instagram, I don't know how I would get a hold of her on it.
Well, you just look up her name.
Yeah.
I have some stamps if you want to
It's
send her a
basically
letter.
the same. It's basically the same thing as Facebook, really.
Send her a message on MySpace.
Oh my god! Now y'all can play Mafia Wars.
Oh my god, that was so lame.
Wasn't it though?
I got a friend of mine that plays that constantly, and I'm always seeing send Jim this or send Jimmy this, and I'm like, no. I don't play games on Facebook.
Okay. Bonsai. Okay, I will. Okay, I will.
What is all that?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
That was weird.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Well, I got all my totes ready. I think I'm taking 3 totes just in case. And then,
Are you going today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Take some bubble wrap or something with you to wrap up all that chalkware stuff you bought.
Right. And
Or newspaper or something.
yeah, so I'm gonna get ready and close down the show here pretty quick, and then I'm gonna get on the road. And I figured the sooner I get out there and find it, the better off I am.
Oh, are you going? I thought you were going to the Benz or something.
No, I'm gonna go pick up my auction.
You're gonna go. Right. I was thinking that you were gonna go to the Benz or something. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm tired.
It's okay.
Go pick up her $120 worth of stuff.
It better be worth more than that.
No. That's what she thought she was going to pay.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't.
What are you actually gonna pay?
$260.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than what I banked on, but that's okay. I got a lot of good stuff.
Oh, because of all the premiums and everything.
No, it's just that when you're bidding on that much stuff, you forget how much you spend.
Well, because when you're going, the thing is I went in before the actual end of the bidding, and where people are actually doing a lot of the active bidding, 30 minutes before it ends. And so
Right.
I went in way before that, like the day before, and I was at 127. So I was like, okay, I'm good with that. And then when they started doing the active bidding, people outbid you. You bid on stuff that you didn't bid on before, and that's kind of the thing. So really, a lot of the action doesn't actually happen until the very end.
Yep.
Which I didn't realize that. So it'll be, it was good for me to learn that. And now I'll know that, for the next time. So
yeah,
that's a lot of money. You get several lap dances for that.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, you won 48 out of 270 lots. So I mean, that's just
yeah.
So I mean, that's a ton of a good portion of the auction is won by one person. So I mean, that's the way to do it if the money's right. So
right. I got a lot of good stuff that will sell well, I believe.
How many lots did you win?
48.
Wow. Are those separate things, or like 48 different things, or is there lots with multiple items in them, or what?
There's a few lots with multiples, because I bought some horse halters, but the majority of them are all singles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I feel like I did really good. And actually, Eric had a really good idea, to keep my list of what I bought, keep it close by, and then I can kind of keep a tally on what I actually sold it for. Just to kind of
validate that it's a real way to source and make money, and when you add it all up and
absolutely.
how much you make off this stuff.
Yeah, it's funny when I do online auctions, I tend to do that too.
Grandma Magic Classic says any hidden fees?
No,
just the buyer's premium.
I mean, there was an 18% buyer's premium that you have to pay.
But it wasn't hidden.
No, it wasn't
high. That's a high buyer's premium. Can you knock that down by bringing cash, or?
Yeah, it goes down to 15%.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't charge tax, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I bought 4 boxes of oak flooring, and that should go that should actually pay for the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh, good.
That's gonna be heavy to ship.
I don't think it's going to be that heavy.
It's the parquet wood flooring. It's the small 12 by 12 squares.
Oh,
So, yeah. So I'm excited about it, and when I get back, and get settled in and bring all that stuff in, then maybe I'll do a live hangout and show y'all what I got.
yeah,
That'd be
that'll be
cool.
fun.
Yeah, I'll be around today. Hit me up on MySpace.
On MySpace.
Yeah, I'll probably be up at the steam farm, but give me a call and I'll come in with you if you want.
Okay.
If I hear the
Okay.
phone. If I don't hear the phone, then I won't. But
Yeah. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to get on the road, and
All right, you
we'll
be
see
careful.
everybody later. And I will. I'll be safe.
remember, lift with
All
your
right.
legs, not your back.
Yes, that's right.
Did you say lift your legs and get on your back, Nikki?
Some good advice.
Well,
Works
she
for
needs
me,
to find
I
a
mean.
helper.
That's one way to pay for your auction stuff.
Well, that's true.
Now you guys know how I really get my auction stuff cheap. No,
Yeah, she says 18%'s high, and yeah, she takes care of it
I get that
in a
knocked down
different
a hell
way.
of a
So
hurry.
yeah, any other way would be would be expensive.
I never pay a
understand.
buyer's premium.
Okay.
I never pay a buyer's premium because they don't charge it.
I might have to see if that's an option.
And don't be afraid to ask for help. They sometimes have people there that'll help you
Okay.
lift the stuff.
All right. Well, everybody have a great day, and we'll see y'all later.
You too.
See ya.
Love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.